Let's get right into the news. Today, I'm going to be taking you on a journey to a wonderful place called Kickstarter. If you haven't heard of Kickstarter before, you probably don't internet much, and I'm impressed you found this video, so hi, how's it going? Now, some of you might know Kickstarter as a literal piece of crap since you've gotten ripped off there before. Some of you might love it because you've backed an amazing project. Some of you might just think it's kinda weird, and we're gonna go over all three of those categories. Well, let's hop into category 1 and go over the first of the good games.
Always the same story with you, Coffee. Stop playing video games and start putting some effort already.
Help a mole will help you.
I'll join you. You what? Working for humans? Never! There's a lot more.
You go do whatever you want. I'm not getting off this couch.
I hate you!
Alright, so game number 1, Coffee Quest, I still don't know, I'm going with Coffee Quest. So this game looks great for a comedy RPG, its price is under $20 US, it looks like a really funny game, I love the art style and everything about it just looks pretty clean. The studio is asking for a very reasonable goal of only $33,500, which for a large game is super small, but this game isn't that big so it should be enough to fund it. And I really trust these guys with that video that they put out already. Most videos don't get that much gameplay and story in it. I just gave you a very small fraction of the actual video. Go to their page below and watch it. I think this one's one to look for if you like this style of game and definitely gets my approval. I think I just realized it's called Coffee because the main character is lazy, so it might be an oxymoron, but they didn't want to make it too obvious with the regular spelling of coffee. I don't know, but that'd be hilarious actually. Anyways, this game gets 9 schmeckles out of 10 piggy banks. We trek onward into good game number 2. There you have trailer number 2, Bullet Rage, and this game looks pretty sick if you love shooter hell style games. This one is gonna try and kill you from any way possible, and the art, animation, and graphics just look amazing in general. If you like shoot 'em up style games, bullet hell style games, it looks absolutely right up your alley, and I think anyone who enjoys this genre should enjoy this game immensely. They're usually a pretty simple style of game, but this one looks like it does it really well, so this one has my mark of approval. We're going to go ahead and give game number 2 8 berry bees out of 10 fly swatters. Let's hop into our third and final good game. Prerequisite, this one's a little different because it is a physical copy, actual old school game, so we'll explain that after the trailer plays. I know a lot of people are going to see that and say, why is this a good game? Like, there's plenty that are better than this on Kickstarter. Well, the thing is, for only $30, you can actually get yourself a Sega Genesis physical copy of this game, which is super cool to me as someone who has a bit of a game collection, not a huge one, but it's just so cool that you can add a physical copy of a Kickstarter game. And this one's one of the only affordable ones I've seen. A lot of projects have NES physical copies and a few others that I've seen, and they're usually around 60 bucks for a hard copy, so $30 is a really fair price for a game that looks pretty good for a Sega Genesis game. Here's a little more footage as well, since I don't think I did the game justice. It has a power wheel where you can scroll through and actually use different demon or curse powers, it looks like, and this is just an example of one of them. We're giving this one 7 ukuleles out of 10 Bon Jovis. Well, I hope you enjoyed the good stuff, because now we get to move on to the weird, and it's gonna get real weird. So let's just jump into the first one. So, you ever want to be a cat that beats the shit out of other cats and aliens and looks like a very muscular man on everything but the cat's head? Well, I mean, this game's probably your shit. Like, why not go for that? So on a real note, I never said these weird games were going to be bad. Like, most of these are actually pretty good. This one's impressive looking and the art's pretty cool and stuff, but it's just fucking weird, man. Like, I don't know what else to say besides that. It's a very different style game, but I think it looks pretty good, so it definitely makes this list. We're just not going to do a rating for the weird game since this is kind of a bonus section, so we're just going to say this one looks pretty fun, but it doesn't get a score. Alright, no more talk about muscular cat shoot-em-ups, let's just move into weird game number 2.
For years, humankind has wondered when Monster Prom, the world's first and only multiplayer dating sim, would finally release a sequel. Today is the day. Classes are finally over, but what comes next for these wacky monsters? Not a new game, but 3 in 1. You can start at Monster Camp, where you'll spend your day becoming a Monster Scout, swimming in the lake, or at the Camp Dome, trying not to get murdered. And when night comes, it'll be time to gather around a fire to tell stories, spread rumors, and maybe even smooch each other.
So yeah, apparently this is a sequel and I missed the first one. I mean, I don't know where I was apparently, but it's actually pretty cool that this is the only multiplayer dating sim according to them. That's pretty impressive. But I mean, who the hell wants to be a monster dating another monster? Like, is that really your first idea for the dating sim you want to play? If it is, more power to you, but I'm going to stick to the traditional dating sims and play with those anime girls instead of the monsters, you know? That's my style of game, man. For real, if you like dating sims, this game doesn't look bad. I don't think I've ever fully played a dating sim, so I can't be too much of a judge on this. You guys let me know what you think. It looks pretty hilarious, but it looks like an okay project. On to a weird game number 3.
Full Course is a young adult visual novel with themes of mental health. You'll play as Morgan Seller, who has grown up in a restaurant kitchen, but has never taken the time to learn the fundamentals of cooking. On top of that, they've developed a social phobia, and to cope, they see people as the one thing they can deal with: food. After being demoted to dishwasher, they'll begin college, make friends, and maybe romance?
This one was a real close tie between the weird section and the bad section, since it is just a kind of low production, really odd idea. But I mean, I can kind of understand the some people having a kink for monsters, but if you're getting off to food that much, I think you got a problem, buddy. I guess this game's about a kid who grew up in a kitchen and got some mental problems, so he sees everything as food that he wants to date. I don't get the whole dating part of this, since his description of it was kind of like that, but I don't get what makes him want to date and or fuck the food, because that's it's a little out there. This one gets a do not buy from me, even if you're into the weird stuff, because there's not enough of a game to show that there's going to be a real project compared to the other weird ones, so hard pass and good luck with this, man. Alright, that's enough of the weird ones. Those were fun to find and fun to look at, to be perfectly honest. I enjoyed that the most, but I also really enjoy these bad games. Let's just get into it. Next one doesn't have a video, so you just get to hear my dumbass talk while I show you the page for a little bit. Let's start off by saying this individual's art is actually pretty good. That's not what I'm going to harp on at all. I think they do a really good job at their drawings, but this whole project isn't a video game. That's my whole issue with it. It's not a game. Doing something that is a cosplay dress-up simulator that you're trying to market as a game is pretty stupid in my opinion. I would just recommend this person completely drops this project and goes and makes money with their art doing commission projects or other things. Artists online have a pretty good time of getting small work, so just go start doing that to build your profile and make a job out of this, because your art's not bad, so just don't try to make a video game for literally no reason with no idea at all for it. Well, that one was a little boring for a bad project, but I wanted to show two things really. One, you need an idea and you need a groundwork if you're going to make a Kickstarter project. You can't just have a tiny bit of an idea and just slap it up and say, people are going to pay me for this. And that just doesn't work. And two, make sure you categorize it right. Like, this shouldn't be a video game. You should do something else with it. Try and make a different project out of it. make it in the art category. There's one of those on Kickstarter, so just do something else. So this one gets a very hard pass because I feel like even if they got the funding goal, there would be nothing out of this. It's one of those types of projects. Lastly, we have the steaming turd of a project. This one is just the worst mixture of idea and implementation I've seen in a while. It looks like something from the early 2000s, late 90s. It's just hilarious.
Concept behind this game has been experimented in my classroom when I want to find a motivating way to prepare my students for the end of year exams. I have used this method for over a decade, and I can say with certainty that baseball provides a perfect, playful setting for a quiz. Thank you for supporting the development of this wonderful project.
I don't want to hate on this guy. He seems like a nice dude. He seems like he thinks he has a good idea, but I just want you to know this is the worst project I've seen in a while, just for sheer, like, who would pay for this? If this was a free game, almost no one would actually buy it. It's sad to me that someone thinks this is a really good idea. I don't want to be too mean, but just, come on, like, you have to ask family and friends and make sure if they're a little hesitant about it, then it's not a good idea. And if someone who is a close friend to me wanted to market this, I would immediately tell them, no, this is just god-awful. The animation looks like it's Flash animation out of the late 90s. The quiz just looks so badly implemented. It's hilariously bad. I feel for the dude, but I'm not going to give you a pass on a game like this. Do you, yes you, patron of the internet, do you have a project that you want me to check out on Kickstarter, or do you have someone you know's project, or just one you think looks cool? Well, contact me, leave a comment, do anything, and I will probably take a look at it and slap it in a video. So just let me know, and you can get your own project in these videos. So I don't have an outro. Am I doing this ASMR stuff right? Does this